Hello there, Maria here. Today I'm going to paint a funky floral. I already did a background, just smashing some paint around with a credit card and letting it dry. And I'm going to just randomly put some marks. I am already planning on making a floral, but you never know where you're going to end up with this random marks and paintings. But all I know it is going to be very colorful. I always make colorful art. So when you make marks, you don't really have to think about it. Just to pick out some colors that you like and just put it on there wherever you think it would look good. This is acrylic paints, so with acrylics you can always paint over it very quickly. So there's no reason to worry about the initial marks. I used the end of a brush for marks, but I realized that it looked better with just using a brush. It's a pretty bright magenta. I try to vary all the marks, but I do have a love for circles and just straight lines and dots. They always find a place in my art. Well, I'm not doing this because there's no reason to plan out a huge floral arrangement unless that's what you want to do. What I'm worried about here is more or less to cover up the canvas completely with paint, whatever colors come to mind. Most of this will disappear as a layer. And I'm using my finger for some dots. I like the way they look kind of clumsy. Some of them are too clumsy. I love white, it's so bright. I don't use a whole lot of, say, black in my art, but it makes a great contrast. So if you wanted to make this a really spectacularly bold floral, you could use black as a background. I'm not going to do that, but I thought of it. And here I got a out a China marker, and I just do some random scratching. Excuse me. They give some bold crayon look underneath everything, and it gives a different flavor to the mark making. I think this was a Naples yellow. You can use whatever paints you have, say crafts paints, which work just as well. It has less pigmentation, but you can put on several layers. I I use whatever is on sale. Well, I have many basics, so the acrylics. Sometimes you can buy one get one free or half the price. I like golden and Sharpen. Those are great acrylics. And I'm using just some random brushes. They don't have to be fancy. Now in my mind, I am kind of doing a sketch in my mind about the layout of the flowers. So you can see them kind of shaping up. These, as you know, are fantasy flowers. Here I'm using an unbleached white. And then I add various greens to add greenery to tie it all together. So there's green all around these flower shapes. So use a light green and a like a hunter green and a forest green. And you can also add some browns. The closer to the bottom of the floral, if you would look into the floral, the darker the green. To add some depth. You can use brown, like you can mix brown and green, and you can get a dark bottom color that is not black. And black is too harsh, in my opinion. These florals are fun to make. You never know exactly what they're going to look like. I have made several like this, and it's so fun, so much fun. The panel is a 12 by 12. I use stretch canvas, but I also like the wood cradled type of canvases because you can there's more resistance in the wood, so you can use harsher or more difficult um, methods or items, tools to get the effect that you like. Here I'm using paint pens. I have They're permanent markers from Elmer's. They used to be excellent and the quality has gone downhill. So you get some and they don't last very long. Also use Posca pens. They are great, but they're not permanent. So at the end I have to varnish this painting with a spray varnish, not to smear the paint pen. Elmer's is permanent, but I always varnish the art to keep the dust off and UV rays. So I outline the flowers one at a time and just look and see where I can enhance what would pop out and what stays in the background. They all seem to want to pop out. That's what happens when you like colorful art. So I add the centers of each flower with a paint pen. Try to keep the greenery to the back, and I paint in some veins with the permanent marker. If you wanted them to show up a lot, you can use white paint marker for veins. But I'm using brown and green. As you can see, the floral has come around nicely. I always go back and I keep adding detail. That way it like makes it complete. So as you can see, I did the vase outline at the bottom there with some blue paint. So that's pretty much where the vase is going to go. And here the bottom part, like a table, I'm using a turquoise, bright turquoise. So as you can see, a lot of the detail that's in the background just disappears. A good way to check if everything seems to be the right size and like the vase is straight as much as possible. You can look at the painting in the mirror because it's a different look. So here I was thinking about backgrounds. And I went with the pink actually. I could have done the light blue or the light yellow. They're about, I decided on the pink and I'm rearranging the shape of the vase a little bit. It makes it like a bright spring, summer bouquet. A tiny bit of the blue shines through here and there, and that makes it just adds a little dimension when the background has a chance to show a little bit. But it's hard to decide sometimes. The blue would have looked okay, and the yellow would have been very warm. I do like pink a lot. So there you have it. And now I'm gonna see how I can make the vase stand back a little bit. And that line of the green needs, or the turquoise needs to be straight. So I'm going with white just to tie all of it together. But I liked for the background to shine through a little bit. So what I was doing here, I put on the white pretty heavily. And to get it to bleed through, I wiped some of the white off with a baby wipe. So you can see I have a little bit of detail shining through there. It could have been a different color, but I think I have a lot of color already. So I'm going back with my China marker here to enhance the lines to make for a stronger demarcation of borders. I felt like there was a little bit too much white actually. I was pondering. But I went back here and enhanced some of these items that are up against the white and cleaning up edges where the background encroached. You can always go back with the paint pens and clean things up. So where you can see where you like it the best. I added a leaf there with the white to lessen the white, if you can see it hanging down. And here decided to add some orange stripes to the tablecloth. And it's a contrast to all that flower mess up there in the vase. So I like contrasting uh, ideas. That. So here we are. Thanks for watching, and now go and paint your own floral.